Hello to my friends around the world. I am thrilled to introduce to you a gentleman named Aaron Byerlee. Aaron is a known leader in a variety of business aspects. He knows and understands the crypto world very, very well, and he knows and understands how to build home-based businesses, micro enterprise on a global scale. Aaron is, I think I can safely say that he's in the top one or two most preferred presenters in our business. I don't know if it's the Australian accent, Aaron, that they love. I think it's probably the quality of your content. Everybody, listen carefully, listen with eager intent. You're about to hear from a really, really high quality individual who knows and understands this world. He'll introduce to you a company to concept called Leverage AI. Aaron, I look forward to hearing, and I'll join you at the end.
Thanks so much, Randy. It was funny when I first started traveling to the US for network marketing and I was up on stage, even the Americans couldn't understand me. So I had to learn to slow it down with the Australian accent. But here we are. Look, I'm really excited to talk to you guys tonight about LevAI. If you've got any sort of entrepreneurial bone in your body, which I'd imagine everyone on this call has to some degree, whether you're a solo entrepreneur, whether you've got a side gig, whether you're full into an online business or a direct sales venture, a traditional business, then you'd be wondering the same with what I was on how to leverage AI and how to monetize AI because I felt like it was passing me by very, very quickly. I understood the concept. I understood couldn't just bury your head in the sand anymore and I'll show you through this presentation why you can't do that. But also, too, I didn't want to just apply it to my business and save time. I also wanted to really put the dollars in the bank account by leveraging some sort of AI program. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is everything in one spot where you can tap into with very, very little to no technical knowledge as well. But let's just have a bit of a look at, okay, how big is this? And I know that you know that this is big. In fact, you probably even know it's one of the biggest opportunities of our lifetime. But I just wonder if you know how big it is. So if we have a look at the head of DeepMind, and some of these guys that I'll show you are right at the cutting edge of, startups, fintechs, Web3, some of the smartest minds on the planet. The difference here with AI is it's going to be 10 times bigger than the Industrial Revolution and maybe 10 times faster. You need to listen to these words. AI is more profound than fire or electricity or anything we've done in the past. Anything we've done in the past, guys, the head of Google. And so, let's have a look at some stats and work out just how big it is. The industry talks about being a $1.8 trillion industry by 2030. But the UN trade development talk about it being a 4.8 trillion industry by 2033. And I'm kind of backing these guys in with the speed that it's growing. I don't think you can underestimate how big this industry is. And people are going to become millionaires over the next 5 years, far quicker than they did because of the internet, social media, these types of things. And you kind of put it in perspective of, the oil and gas industry has been around for 166 years, worth 4.2 trillion. To think we could be there with AI in just a few years is quite staggering. So let's have a look at this and really break it down. So where's our opportunity in the marketplace? I want you guys to understand, and I do deliberately want to create a bit of urgency here, is you guys are finding out about some cutting edge tools right now. You're getting educated, particularly if you tap into our community on how you can plug into these AI tools and really leverage them far quicker than the majority of the population who are fiddling around with ChatGPT or something similar. We have about a 12-month window before everyone understands this. Everyone has been forced to do it, and every business already has this in there. But you guys can cash in big time over the next 12 months, 24 months, and then create a really strong ongoing revenue for many, many years to come. So understand this, 61% of marketing agencies are already using AI. I think, because this is growing so fast, even at the time of putting these slides together, it's probably now like 91%, right? Like you tell me a digital marketing agency that's just building your website these days, just doing your SEO, of course they're going to tap into these AI tools, right? So 61% of marketing agencies are already using AI and sort of selling it, promoting it. But 1% of business owners say, hey, I'm AI mature, meaning I know that I should be using AI. I've heard about it. I want to. I just have no clue. on who to get to do it for me, how to do it, or which tools I should be doing. I don't understand the tech side to implement it. And I'm certainly not using it to save time, to leverage, to cut down on overheads, to automate my business. 1% of business. So there's your opportunity, guys. Got 99% of businesses out there. I think in the US, there's probably 300,000 small businesses. In Australia, we've probably got 2 million small businesses. Sorry, the other way around. And so there's lots and lots of opportunity there for us. Less than 10% of individuals are using AI to any sort of productive degree, right? Dabbling around with ChatGPT. Business owners are using AI, say that have a 38% increase in productivity and between a 3.7 and 10% return. So what they're paying for it, which when you break it down is pretty minimal, they're getting really good returns on that investments. 80% of entrepreneurs say it gave them a competitive edge and a growing 100% higher growth than competitors not using AI. 75% of businesses will just be too far behind. In fact, they'll be gone altogether. I don't even think it's going to take 5 years, and you're either adopting this or you're out. You're bankrupt. And that is the facts. It's growing 120% a year and growing, 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 growing. So let me put this in perspective for you. What is your value that you bring to the world? What is the value that you bring to the entrepreneurial workspace? What is the value that you bring which represents money going into your bank account? Because that's really all business is. What problems are you solving? What value do you bring? What edge do you have over other people? That's the size of your bank account and growing. And if you can figure this stuff out sooner than later, you're going to start to see that bank account growing. And it's a bit like saying, hey, imagine today you didn't know how to use the internet. Imagine your grandkids wanted to look up, how long the dinosaurs were here for, or what was their softball score last weekend, or what's the weather going to be tomorrow, and you didn't even know how to do that on the internet, right? Your grandkids are going to be rolling their eyes and going, come on, grandpa, come on, grandma, but you just don't know how to use the internet. What if you went for a job today and it was a very, very basic job, but you just said, oh, look, I wouldn't know how to use the internet. I wouldn't know how to check my email. You're not going to get that job. You get almost no value from a marketplace. Doesn't mean you're still not a good grandma or grandpa, but you don't have much value to the marketplace that's going to grow your bank account, that's going to add value, that's going to solve issues. And that is you and me 3 years from now, maximum, if you don't know how to use AI. And that is just a fact. And so we can't bury our head in the sand anymore. We can't let it pass us by, because when you find a business opportunity, sometimes you can really push that boulder up a hill. It's like, oh man, like I love this particular product, but I feel like everybody's having collagen right now, but I'm pushing it, and everyone's got a collagen product already. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how hard you row, it matters what boat you're in. And the AI boat right now, you don't need to row. You don't need to, you can sit back with a cocktail in your hand and just let the jets puff. You might have to do a little bit of work, right? But it matters which boat you're in. And I've been in opportunities before at the forefront of a wave where all I had to do was be a little bit visible. All I had to do was reach out and talk to people, and it was just so well received that the wave just took the momentum. And I've been in opportunities before where I've had to paddle from the front of the boat to the back of the boat and anywhere in between, right? With AI, the conversation just flows. It's really easy. Just know enough to be dangerous. Just understand how to plug people in, and you'll be on the right boat with AI. Don't worry, because you don't want to be a dinosaur. You don't want to be when the AI meteor hits, when the AI flood hits, and I think it's already hit, it's already here. You want to be able to adapt. And the crocodile, they survived, right? They're still here. Member of the dinosaur family where the rest of them perished. The crocodile learnt AI. I want you guys to be crocodiles, not dinosaurs. And so when I saw LevAI, I was like, this is how I can leverage it. This is how I can learn about it. This is how I can monetize it. Who's behind this company? Because it could be gone in 2 years based on how these things go sometimes. Backed by $1 billion brand. I'll always back Randy. I'll always back Blake Schroeder. So much experience with, startup companies, with taking companies from zero to multi millions. Lots of track career of success is what I always look for. When you've got a legal background, I know you've got a smart mind, but when you're a good person with high moral commitment, you're going to make the right decisions based on trying to do the right thing. Doesn't always work out, but I'll always back the person behind the brand. And, I know what leverage AI is. So who's in charge? And, look up Blake. He's someone that you can trust to take this company to great heights. And also to LaCour Enterprises, if you don't know of Terry LaCour, he owns, a dozen network marketing companies. He has hundreds, if not thousands, of different infrastructure for influencers, solopreneurs, small businesses, direct sales companies with merchant facilities, shipping, all sorts of back office IT. He has a huge, huge business over many decades now, a $1 billion enterprise based in Dallas, Texas, 7 billion in revenue. And so he is the guy that bought the rights to the technology. So you have a really good backing, a really great team of leadership to take this company, not just from an idea to something with real momentum that you can back for the long term. So let's have a bit of a look at what LevAI does. What problems does it solve? Why is this the niche? Everything in one spot, solving the problems for direct sales entrepreneurs, right? And so when we're looking at all the different tools that we can use to grow a business, when we're looking at all these different AI tools, and I've been there looking at these different apps, looking at these different technologies, and yep, I'm going to log into that one for my text message. I'm going to log into this one for my AI receptionist. I'm going to log into this one for ChatGPT. I'm going to log into this one for something specific for my social media. And it is expensive and it is confusing and overwhelming. And, if you're like me, you forget your password, log in for every different one, or you use the same password, right? And so, having everything in one spot that solves a lot of these problems is really, really exciting. So let's have a look at what the specific tools are. My AI Social, my network, my web, my momentum, and my prospects. So this is what we're starting out with a few bonuses just about to hit the marketplace as well. So my AI social. So think about your interaction on your socials, Instagram, Facebook, and the likes. How many times have you posted something and you've gone, I have nailed that. This is going to go viral. This is going to have like 1 million likes, 100,000 comments, and I'm going to be on the news tomorrow for that post. And you log in 2 hours later and your sister and your mum have liked it. And you're like, man, I thought that was like controversial. I wrote it so well. This is a great tool for say, hey, look, this is what I want to write on social media. Could you reword this? Or, hey, I'm trying to attract people to my network marketing company. Here are the key points about it, but can you write something really compelling? And this is what it's really, really good at. Now, some of you might be good at this, but this will make you better. Some of you might be good at this, but this will give you ideas because, sometimes you just go blank on what should I write today? And so it's really great at creating interactive posts, creating the image. If you haven't got your own image, and you can really start to grow an interactive and engaging social media accounts without having to wonder. You can also do some pretty cool things. We might talk about that a bit more in the custom relationship manager, but just little things like taking a screenshot or taking a photo of someone's social media account and saying, hey, check out this person. What's a good opening line that I can use to start building some rapport? It's pretty cool. So you can take some contacts. So we've got like our own mini CRM in there. And so what I've done is taken my contacts, the old fashioned write out your list of 100 people. I've used my network marketing list to put into this CRM. And, I've put in their social media accounts, name, phone number, email. If I've got that and created a list of people. And that way I can say, hey, what should I write to this person? Now, I'm pretty good at this stuff and I know most of these people to some degree, so I know them. I can reach out pretty well, but I might just say, I'm going to reach out to this person and say this. What do you think? Anything I can add? And it's amazing just the one or two little other things that you didn't think of that can say, hey, this is really going to help to convert. This is really going to help to create curiosity. And in today's world, this is really going to help just to get a reply to my message. How many people just ghost you these days, not even respond to anything that you've written? So it can really help you with the imports, screenshots. I did one the other day where I just took a LinkedIn screenshot, just of the banner and the copy. So it said what the person did, their name. They had a picture of their lifestyle up there. And it straight away, wrote a message for them and it just absolutely nailed it. Looks like you're into yoga. How's the outdoor hiking going? Hey, how's that business of yours going with the health and wellness company? I've got something I want to talk to you that could help you with that. Can we touch base? Something along those lines from an image that I uploaded. So that's a very, very cool aspect of that. That's how it works. So let's talk about my web. So again, you can build a website in 30 seconds. And it's going to look pretty good. What I've found with this is you get your really quick website up and running, and then you fine tune it. And so what I've done when I've logged into my LevAI account is I've got, I think, 5 different brands. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I've got 5 different brands. And my AI is trained to know my personality, but it's trained to know my 5 different brands specifically as well. And it talks a little bit differently with email, social media posts, direct messages based on the information that I've given it. And I spent a fair bit of time in the early days of logging in to really like give it websites, copy, documents, everything that I could give it so it understood my individual business as well as my personality type. And so based on that information, I can just go boom, hit one button, and it's going to create a website with that information. I think one of them is I've got a charcuterie franchise. I'm a master franchise of a charcuterie company, and it had, Gray's Grays, the freshest, tastiest charcuterie boards on the block. It just nailed the headline. And then you can just go through and fine tune it. So you put your logo up here. I want to change that image to this image. Testimonials. Yep, I do actually have 5 testimonials. Let me put them in. And, maybe over 30 minutes to an hour, you can fine tune it to how you want it to look, and bang, you've got a website. Now, I have never built a website in my life previous to doing this. I wouldn't have a clue about codes. Maybe I could copy and paste an HTML code if I had a how-to video, but I've never built a website. And so bang, within 30, 60 minutes, there's a nice looking website. And based on the information that I fed it, it spat it out really well. So I want you to start to think about, and not many people in LevAI have started to talk about this yet, but could you build, you could give all of these tools to a small business or a solopreneur, and they could start to get busy and they would love it. But what about if they're just like, man, like I'm just so busy, I just don't want to know about it, I've just got no tech. Now I know that if they sat down between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. every single night for a month, they would understand this. It's not rocket science. But some people they just don't want it, right? Could you charge that business owner, that entrepreneur, $497 to set up all of their AI in the back office for them? Hey, look, tell me your website, tell me a bit about your business, and I'll go do it for you. I just chat. Maybe you can start to make some retail sales, right? Set it up for them, build them a website. I can set all this up for you. If you want me to make your website with this and give you an example, I charge $19.97 to do a website, right? Which might be still cheaper than getting a $5,000 website. Just start to think outside the square of these revenue streams that you can have, whether they do it themselves or whether you're doing it for them, right? Just start to think about some of those things. My momentum. So I love this one. So you're programming everything in. You've got your list there. You've got your to-dos. You've got your website. You've got this person to follow up. It's going to give you nudges to say, hey, have you actually posted on your socials today? Because I'll give you the biggest tip with social media. If you want to go from 10,000 followers to 100,000 followers, sure, it's the content, sure, it's a bunch of different stuff, sure, it's the algorithm, but the number one biggest thing that you can do to grow your social media account is a word starting with C, and it's called consistency. Now, if you can post on your personal, say, Facebook and Insta 2 to 3 times a day, you're going to start to get some traction. If you can really niche that down into a message, into a story, into education, into some value, you'll really start to create some momentum. I had like 4 people follow me today just because of comments I put in different niche groups, with entrepreneurial or AI. And so you've got to be really consistent with that stuff. With things like TikTok or stories or reels, you can post 10 times a day, right? Sometimes you got to be careful with your personal brand that you're not just spamming. So it does matter what you post, but consistency is key. And if you've got someone or an AI tool that nudges you to say, hey, have you done a post on Instagram today? You're like, oh, no, I haven't. Do you want me to write you one? Yeah, cool. What's it about? Let's do a post. I noticed Donald Trump said this today in the news. Let's do something controversial to stir it up, whatever it might be. And your AI can post that. Or it might be, I haven't posted about AI in 2 weeks. Let's do a really specific AI post. Or it might be just something to do with the family, so you want to mix that up. You don't want to be sell, sell, sell every single post, but it's a great little accountability tool. And my prospects, this is great. Have you ever been stuck on who do I talk to next about my product, my business, my opportunity? You can go in here with a $2 billion database all over the world. You can pick your country. You can say, hey, I want to find people that are just male, that are in the Philippines. They have to be over 30 and they have to have the word self-employed on their social media account. Why do I want that person? Well, I just like working with men over women. I want someone a bit more mature, over 30. And I want them to know that they're somewhat entrepreneurial because they've got the word self-employed on there. So that could bring you up the perfect person that might be looking for a network marketing opportunity, right? Now, if you're in the wellness industry and you're selling, beauty products or weight loss products, and you might like working with females that are under 30. So you would type in, female under 30 in the United States that has the word beauty or woman power or entrepreneur or whatever you want to look. So you just put the keywords in there for the niche that you're really wanting to work with. It'll go dun, 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 and it'll bring up somebody's social media profile. You can then click on the prospect, learn more about their likes, because what do people do on social media? They tell you their favorite books, their favorite movies, their favorite likes, their check-ins. It's going to tell you all that information, 2 billion people. And you're never competing with anyone in LevAI for the same person. So they mix it all around with the algorithm. And then you can click on their LinkedIn, you can click on their Facebook, and you can reach out to them. You don't know what to say. What do? You get LevAI to say, hey, I want to do a cold outreach to this person. What do you think's the best message? It's really, really cool. So you can prospect all day long. On the basic plan, I think you get 25 per month. And the pro plan, you get up to 100 different leads per month. So there's some really cool features that we have where you can just sit in there all day, every day, training the AI, training, getting it to know you more and more and more, getting to know your different businesses. Again, on the pro feature, you can have unlimited business niches. So I've got 5. On the basic, you can have your 1, which might be for your traditional business. It might be for this business. But this is a very, very cool feature. So this is the X Factor feature. Sorry, guys, I've had a bit of man flu this week, but we're getting there. We're getting through it. This AI twin is going to put our company into huge momentum. So this just got launched with a select few leaders in the company. And what it is you upload a picture, you start to train it with your voice if you like, and it's going to look exactly like you. So what you're wearing, what is the background, how do you want it to be? When it starts talking, you're barely going to be able to tell that it's AI. In fact, you won't be able to tell. It just looks like you are talking. Now you can choose 150 different languages. So I've built businesses all around the world in network marketing before. I've had teams of over 200,000 people all through Asia, all through the whole world. And it's so much fun. You travel the world, you get up on stages, you have interpreters, even some of the one-on-one meetings in hotel lobbies, you've got interpreters, but it can be really draining. And it's almost like, faxing in a letter to someone these days. It's almost like using a rotary dial phone landline these days, right? Where I could use my AI twin, have it sitting on my website, and I could start to train my network marketing team. I could train my AI team. I could train my landscaping team. I could train my software development team where I've got people around, whatever it might be in your business. And you could be talking to them in English and they're talking back to you in Spanish. You could be talking them to English and they're talking back to you in Tagalog. 150 different languages. And so particularly for a network marketer that's big all around the world, this is a game changer. But even just for a local business to have, your AI twin up there doing an FAQ questions about your business on the social media channel, maybe. And so instead of just having an FAQ form, which again is our landline dial-up fax machine, in my opinion, today, if I see an FAQ form on people's website, you're not up with 2025. Have your digital twin or have a chat bot at least, or, pick from one of these avatars if you're a little bit shy. And when people are typing questions in on social media or your website, you're talking to them in their language. And I know in Australia, we're super multicultural. Every business, a lot of businesses in Sydney now will have, the name of the business up the top on the outside of the shop, and then they'll have it in Chinese underneath. We're so multicultural. And so what if you could have in real estate your AI twin talking in Mandarin about, these different real estate properties you've got all around you, tapped into wealthy Chinese investors? Like the opportunities are endless. And again, I want you to think about could you set this up for a company? So again, they can come into my LevAI, and we'll talk a little about the compensation plan in a minute, and you can get a very, very nice residual stream. One business, 10 business, 100 business that turns into 3,000 businesses, right? Very nice residual income stream. But again, thinking outside the square, as this gets released to the rest of the LevAI field over the coming days and weeks, could you charge $1,000 to set this up for a local business and say, look, just send me through a picture, tell me what you want to say. I'm going to set it all up for you. You could do a demo for them. I guarantee you, if you say, look, just send me in a picture of you, give me an idea of the message that you might want to say to your audience, and I'm going to send it back to you in English and Spanish. They're signing up on this spot. So you could do demo after demo after demo on this, and your conversion rate, I don't know, I'm not going to make any promises, but it might be over 90%, right? Because people, and again, attracting the right audience, not everyone's going to need this on day one. Eventually, it's just going to be everywhere. But we're one of the very, very few companies in the world that has this technology that can do it in 150. I'll give you a quick demo of me talking. I think this is in Hindi, just a quick video I put together the other day.
मैं इस एआई कंपनी के साथ साझेदारी करने को लेकर बेहद उत्साहित हूं। लीवे इस समय डायरेक्ट सेल्स में सबसे हॉट चीज है। जब आप $1 अरब की इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, शानदार मुआवजा योजना और एक ऐसे निच के साथ साझेदारी कर रहे हैं जो हर जगह है, जो धरती पर किसी भी चीज से तेजी से बढ़ रहा है, डायरेक्ट से
You guys get the idea now. I could probably dress up a little bit better and improve my background, but it was just one that I was mucking around with to try it out. And I actually sent this to a network marketer in India in Hindi, and he was like, "Okay, now you have my attention. I am very impressed. How did you do that?" Hey, Lev AI. And so, this is really easy to use. Any local business owner, solopreneur is going to be able to work out how to use this. But again, thinking outside the square, if they just can't be bothered, don't have time, perhaps you could charge to set it up, and then bang, $99 a month, you're picking up the residual stream. Just some ideas for you. So this is kind of how it works. You've got two structures. You've got your basic plan and your pro plan. And, just go straight to the pro because you want all the cool stuff, right? But everyone gets the AI twin at both plans. So I think that is incredible value. Even at the 49, you can use that tool that we just showed you. You got your AI socials in there that we've spoken about. You can have one business profile at base. You can have unlimited at pro, which is incredible. Like I said, I got 5. You got different engagement tools that you can use with the social there on both. The network CRM is in both. You got more of an advanced CRM features at Pro. The website builder, if you wanted to start building websites for your businesses or offering that service at a cost for other businesses, you would need to be on Pro. The prospects, so if you wanted to search for those prospects and have leads, you would need to be on Pro. You can also start to build teams and to coach your teams. And so if you're going to build a big team in anything, so it doesn't even have to be LevAI, you could be in another direct sales company. What about if you can plug them into this system? You've got unlimited prospects for people to prospect on. They can start to talk on social media. They can start to build lead capture pages on their websites really, really quickly. You can onboard them and coach them in 150 different languages with your little AI video on the back office. And so if you're a network marketer, you know that people are saying, hey, how does the compensation plan work? Or how does that matching bonus work? What's the number for customer support again? Do we have customer support in the Philippines? When's this product arriving in this different country for us? People have so many different questions about the business, right? And it takes up a lot of your time. You're back and forth on Facebook Messenger and then text message, then you're doing 3-way calls, then you're emailing. What about if your AI twin onboarded every single person that joined your business and said, hey, do this first, do this second, do this third. Fantastic. Well done. You've done the 48-hour getting started training. Now, over the next 30 days, let's work together. Next step, let's do this. Now, let's make a list of 100 people. But instead of just writing down an old-fashioned list, let's put them into the CRM and start to send out some emails and social. Like, it's a whole new ball game with AI. The things that have always worked in network marketing will always work. But we always want to be, imagine just not using social media today with network marketing. Imagine still faxing through your enrollments, right? We got to adapt to the technology, and the technology is here with this. But you could train your whole team moving forward in the back office in 150 different languages, and that is very, very cool. So as I was talking about in the beginning, I've tried a lot of different apps. In fact, I still have memberships to a lot of them, but I've got rid of some of them because of LevAI. And you add them all up, all the different CRMs that we've got, and this video machine, and this website builder and hosting and social media. I was using actually a social media tool. And so, you could be spending $300, $400, $500, $600 a month. LevAI, as we saw, pro membership, $99. So the value is really, really amazing. The tools work really, really great. They are specifically there for that solopreneur, the entrepreneur, the network marketer, the direct sales, the influencer, the affiliate. That's really the niche that we fit into. And you can monetize it and you can leverage it. And we all know how big the gig economy is and where it's sort of going, and all the different freelancers and this type of influencer niche, it's only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This is the niche that we're looking to target and attract. And this is the niche that this system will solve all their problems for them. We get 50% commissions on enrollments. So again, think about the $99, and you get 50% of that up front. 20% ongoing for all your personal enrollments. So $20, $20, $20, $20. That can start to add up pretty quickly. And it's one of the more sticky products. Like once you're training your AI, you spent all this time telling it about your personality, what you like, what you don't like. This is how I want you to talk. Here are my 3 businesses. It's not a membership you want to give up very easily. And I've found over the years in the past, multivitamins, skincare, weight loss, if you're doing even 10% of your whole organization that's ordering every month, you're doing pretty well. This is a very sticky product. And then it goes down 8 generations, 4%, 4%, 4%, 4%, 4%. And then you can earn between 1 and 4% infinity, depending on your rank as well. We have a matching bonus of 4 levels. So it's kind of thought of everything. We're making money when our team's making money. We're getting a high commission payout when we bring people on, a great commission payout on our level 1. For people that don't really want to build a team, but they just want to refer it to a few people, it's going to reward everyone at every level, big, medium, and small. It's a really easy uni-level compensation plan to understand. I can explain it to people in 5 minutes. I know I've gone through this pretty quickly, and if you're not used to compensation plans and networking, it still might be a bit confusing. I'm happy to sit down with you and draw it all out. If I could share a whiteboard screen with you and draw it out, you'd understand it in 5 minutes. And so it's very, very cool. And this is what I've got printed out and put up on my wall, just so I know my next list. So I know that if I bring on 1 partner and I've got 2 customers and I'm bringing in $250, so, 2 or 3 members, then I'm a lead partner. And then if I've got 2 teams bringing in $500, I'm advanced. 3 teams, $1,000 in each team, mentor. Director, 4 teams, so 4 different enrollments, $2,500 coming through each team, so it's starting to duplicate. I'm a director, innovator, visionary, and legacy director. So at legacy, the top of the compensation plan, I just have to have 5 different teams, all doing $20,000 a month each. I just got to have 3 customers. Now, based on what we just spoke about, the customer things is going to be very easy. In fact, I think it's going to be a very customer-driven business model, which is great for compliance. It's also great for your healthy checks, and it's also great for a sticky residual income product. You want to be focusing on customers, that people just want to come in and use the product and not necessarily recruit and build a team. And so, guys, that's LevAI for today. We want to be the crocodile. We do not want to be a dinosaur. And there's going to be a lot of dinosaurs, guys, over the next 12, 24, 36 months. There's going to be a lot of people and a lot of businesses, unfortunately, go extinct. But that's been the same way with every evolution of technology that we had. This is not a new ball game. The Industrial Revolution, the tractor in farms. I mean, that was absolutely huge. People got left behind, right? The internet, people got left behind. This is not the first time it's happened. There's been dinosaurs and there's been crocodiles in every different revolution. We know where you guys want to be. The back office, I think we're just about to add another 10 languages. So there's, maybe a dozen, 15, 20 different languages in our back office. As we spoke about, there's over 150 languages that your AI twin can speak in, which you're just going to absolutely love. Get ready for that to be launched every day. We also have our Bitcoin, our crypto, where you can get paid or sign up in crypto. That's launching any day now as well, which is really, really exciting, as well as PayPal. The credit card system is working really well all over the world. Follow us on socials. That's where you're going to stay in touch with all the latest. So when the AI twin launches, get into it day one because you've heard about it on Facebook or you heard about it in this presentation or Instagram. Follow everyone on socials and tap into these different Zooms that we're running. We're running like 2 Zooms a day, every single day. You don't want to be missing out on all the latest and the greatest. So guys, we are live over 150 different countries. Get LevAI. Tap into the revolution. If it's not this, then what's it going to be? And if it's not AI, then I'm sorry, guys, but you're going to fit into the dinosaur category. That's just a fact. We'd love you to be here with us with LevAI. It is the solution. It's everything you've been looking for. And guys, we're not just going to sit back and go, here's our tool set. We're going to grow. And so we're going to launch this company properly. We're going to make sure that we're in momentum. We're going to make sure we've fine-tuned everything, launch the AI twin. But if we don't keep up with the technology, and me and Randy have spoken about this, you know, just like every company that's doing AI, we're going to get left behind very, very quickly. And so I understand we have an incredible tech team, we have an incredible corporate team that's always going to be on the cutting edge of what is working, you know, always upgrading the servers and the technology so that you guys can have the confidence with the tools that we have in our back office at LevAI. So Randy, that is all from me for today. Looking forward to the momentum kicking in and everything that's happening at LevAI. Very, very exciting. Thanks for having me.
Aaron, thank you so much. You know, I smiled all the way through your presentation. I do each time I listen to you. I love the content. I love the delivery. Folks, on Wednesday this coming week, if you're not a director yet, become one. Wednesday this coming week, for the first time, there will be a deep dive into the AI processes itself and the future product pipeline being delivered on the Blake's Presidential Council meeting on Wednesday. It's certainly possible for each of you to be there. Aaron, I thank you again very much. I appreciate your respect to you. God bless all of you, and we'll see you soon. Good night.
Thanks, guys.